Welcome back to the Nose Plays Endless Space 2 and part 6 of our Vaulter gameplay with the new Penumbra DLC. Today we have a number of very interesting things going on. Currently sitting at turn 53 and we want to get to at least turn 64-ish. That's what I'm shooting for today. That being said, I want to kind of go ahead here and zoom in just a little bit. And we can see that our trade route is producing a little bit of resources for us. Not a ton, but considering where we were dust-wise not too long ago, this 126 gold between these two systems, because they're fairly well developed at this point, is actually pretty helpful at the moment. So I'm glad that we went ahead and made that decision. Another thing to consider is our influence is currently through the roof right now, and this has a lot to do with the fact that we have a quest running, and you can see all of the different quests over here that are currently running, and you can scroll through these if there's more than this many, which there are. I'm trying to remember how to get that to scroll down to the other ones. There it is. That's what I'm looking for right there. Plus 20 influence on systems on Empire. So every system that we have is producing an extra 20 influence. And we're in the process of potentially dropping another system in the next few turns. We also have this quest going, and we got a scout that's going to be taking care of that this game. And most importantly, our military fleet that we spent several turns last game finishing up is en route to our first casualty of war, hopefully, and that is Pisces. This is a system we noticed early on in the game with our scouting and didn't get a chance to get over and grab before the He-Show. I was told that it's pronounced He-Show, and so I will try to remember to pronounce it that way from now on. But before the He-Show took it from us, we are going to take it from them with force. So thank you to my viewer. I don't remember exactly what your name was, but you know who you are. And I do appreciate any and all feedback that you guys have for me. So we're going to go ahead and do a siege of this system for a brief period of time. Remember, we did put siege modules on one of our ships to help implement that, and so hopefully that will burn this system down to where when we do invade, we won't lose a lot of our fighting force. The other thing that we need to focus on before we get too heavily involved in combat and while we're sieging is we probably need to look at our troop breakdown and switch over some, if not all, of our force to tanks. And also maybe re-look at our battle tactics, because I think there are some better battle tactics that we could be using. But the plan is basically to take this system, see if we can get these guys to truce out, and then start working on getting rid of at least these two pirate systems, but most specifically this one, because I think this is the system that we're going to end up taking next. I don't think that we have time to do that for the Argosy at the moment. In the next 9 turns, we're not going to have that system cleared off. That's just not likely to happen. That being said, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the Argosy back over here. And we will go ahead and colonize this really crappy system just so we have some adamantium coming in and to keep our empire kind of tight. I do want to take just a quick peek at what is over here, if there's anything of any real substance. Deneb looks good, but the planets in it are absolute garbage. And Placidus didn't look bad at all with a Terran planet. And in fact, maybe it's far enough away from the Umbral Choir that that is the one that we want to grab. It's not a big deal to defend this for us, even though it's really far away from us, because of our portals that we can get up and running. So, yeah, maybe we just go ahead and we'll get there in 4 turns. That'll put us at a 5-turn counter, We've been able to buy out 4 or 5 turns off of our timer every single time thus far, and we're likely to be able to do that again because of our dust situations improving. So yeah, that's what I think we're going to go ahead and focus on for this game, is trying to get Pisces back from the Hisho. I say back as if we ever claimed it officially, but we're not really running any laws at the moment, and that's because I'm trying to build up the influence to get the pirates, which we kind of did. We did make a truce with them, so we do have the ability to use their portals. The nice thing is, if we take Pisces, we can actually use this portal to jump back across, or jump to one of our other systems that gets a portal up. We haven't currently built any. Oh, and we have a hack. This just came free this turn. And one of the things that I'm considering doing is hacking Pisces, and trying to use the hack that lets us cause all kinds of problems with their ground forces. However, I think in order to do that, you actually have to hack the capital. You can't hack a system on the outside. But I think we're still going to try. I think that makes more sense. We've already got security with the pirates. There's no sense in doing more. I do think we want to jump through that system in order to get this. That's going to take 7 turns. Is there any reason to even hack this if we're just going to take it, though? That is a good question. Maybe instead what we should be doing is hacking Niall. That's going to take 9 turns. They definitely have some defenses on that system. But if we go from here, it'll kind of maybe look like the pirates are doing it. That's going to take 11 turns. You know what? We're going to do something kind of... Okay, I can't do it from that system. But I can do it from here. No, that's not going to work either. Now, we're going to go from here, but... Can I go... No, I can't do that either. I want to go through more than one of these to get to Niall. Like that, maybe? 15 turns is a long time, but all I really want to do is establish a backdoor on this system so that we can start hacking their main system. And we'll talk a little bit about backdoors if this trace actually manages to work. We can run an accelerator. So we'll do that at least. And we'll see, starting next turn, if accelerators have changed. I read somewhere that the latest patch has affected or changed the way the accelerator displays its timing. But I still think you have to reach it before that happens, so I'm not sure. Alright, let's go ahead and end the turn and get going. I want to try to play a little bit faster today and maybe get this video under 120 minutes. Calgaroos. We got Calgaroos. We need to check and make sure they're on the right type of planet. Okay, and now we have Tier 2 Economy and Trade, which is awesome. And we'll have to pick a new science here shortly. Ooh, they got some ships over here.
Feel free to anger us.
So they're going to actually
also to suffer Tornazi's wrath.
Ask us to leave, and we're going to say no.
Feel free to anger us.
Alright, they're going to try to close borders on us. Unfortunately, with this fleet here, we can't actually blockade this system, I don't think. System is being guarded. Yeah, so they're blockading the system, which means we can't do anything while their ships are here, unless we declare war on them, which we may actually be able to do.
We have one word for to die stabbing each other.
275 influence. So we can do it next turn. What I actually want to do is wait until they try to close borders on us. And once they've spent that influence, we'll just go ahead and declare war on them. Unfortunately, I can't do that any quicker. Over here, all I want to do is get my quest and get going. Alright, so that quest should be completed, which it is. Right over here, we'll look at that in a moment. There's nothing else we can do on this system specifically. The question then is, maybe we send a probe out this way. And then just keep moving. There is a chain that goes this way as well. But I think we're just going to keep moving. Alright, so we got a new hero. He's got 4 points, and we're going to assign him to a system more likely than a fleet. Let's see what abilities we have. So, extra flat science on a system is good. These are both fleet abilities, as is that. Plus 30 science on system is okay. So this is not a great hero for systems, actually. He would make a better fleet commander. But these are really poor skills. 40% shield capacity is actually not terrible. There's a lot of science on this guy. Kind of surprising, since he's a food from a food-based faction, if I'm not mistaken. I was kind of expecting some different abilities. This is actually going to be an okay hero for our main system. And the reason we're going to go ahead and put him on our capital is because, first of all, it's going to build stuff really quickly, so hopefully he'll level up faster. But also, the science is going to be amplified the most on that, the flat science, because we have buildings that amplify it. And then he has future abilities to increase science even more. And I believe we have at least one cold system, or cold planet in that system. So he'll benefit from that as well. So we're going to go put 2 points into that, and then 2 points into this. Population on that system is fairly large. And that's where we'll start with. The next points will probably go into this ability, which will increase influence a little bit. And yeah, we'll kind of go from there. But he's going to definitely be, for now, our capital city's hero of choice. So we'll go ahead and assign him as a governor there. And that will help a little bit with a few things. One thing I noticed when I went back and watched my video, I immediately was talking about how at the end of one of the turns, near the end of the game, or near the end of the video, I got hacked by the pirates. I got a notification that I'd been hacked, and it was pretty clear that the pirates had done it. And I was pointing out that I think my dust is going to suddenly go negative. And what actually ended up happening was my food went negative, and I lost a population. And so what I think happened there was actually that might have been the Umbral Choir stealing a hero from us, potentially. Or not a hero, but a sleeper. I've seen that happen in SB's game on occasion, and I think that's what it's about. He had the same kind of reaction I did initially, where he just suddenly lost a lot of food and lost a hero, and he couldn't move population to fix it. He wasn't sure why, and all of a sudden it was gone. And I think that's actually an indication that somebody is removing sleepers from your system, which means that we may have sleepers over here, which means that it's probably a good idea to start running this. That being said, I am going to move one of these populations over here, just so we're getting a little more food so we can get back the population that we lost. That was the completion of this quest. And a new quest. Or never mind. Something was going on there. Okay. So, anything else we need to do this turn? Our hack is traveling. Our ships have all moved wherever they're going to move. We do have a probe. Is there anywhere reasonable that I can launch this thing at this point? I think the most reasonable thing I can do is just launch it this direction towards that lane. Just to try to keep vision of this star lane a little bit. And we'll just sit here for a turn or two and see if they try to close borders on us. Okay, technology-wise, we've finished doing what we needed to do over here, which means we do need to go in and set our level 2 or level 3 empire development. What I'm noticing is we have some technologies here that might be useful to fill out, and also some technologies here. And then there was a building over here that I was really interested in before, and we talked briefly about it because it's a buffed building. What this building does for all the other factions, it's got a different name, but it does basically the same thing. It's 40 influence per system level with a 20% buff. This version of it's slightly better, and so it makes it actually a really reasonable purchase for us. Even more so because right now our influence is actually only really good because A, we're not running any laws, and B, we have that 10-turn quest running that's giving us a whole bunch of influence. This will basically replace that when it gets built, and because we're going to be able to get to level 3 system development, this will actually provide us 150 influence per turn by itself without anything else. So I think this is a really reasonable technology to pursue right now, just so we could get that building started. And then maybe we'll dive back into the science tree and the military tree for a little bit. I do want to take a moment to just peek at his ships and make sure that we're outfitted properly to beat them. And it looks like we are. They do have projectile defenses, but our missiles are pretty high tier. Their weapons, however, are really powerful. 389. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I do recall something about them basically bluffing their weapon stats. They look better than they actually are, and so it's hard for you to know exactly how powerful the Hisho are. So they may not be quite as scary as they look at first glance. We outnumber them. We have a hero, and our ships are kitted specifically to handle their ships, so I think we're going to be okay. I kind of wishing that I had put some shields on our big defensive ship, but the extra hit points are probably okay, and we'll keep it alive long enough. Let's go ahead and get that system development stuff figured out. So over here, we don't have the money to enhance our trade routes at the moment, although we could sell a bunch of stuff and get some. But what I really want to do is that. And that's real expensive, as you can see, but it's basically a really, really good way to get a system off the ground. And from now on, if we have the resources, we can actually throw this down on new systems that go down and give them tremendous flat bonuses to help them catch up to the systems that have already been going for a while. And so where this is going to be most useful is actually on the weaker systems that we have, because flat numbers are way more beneficial on weaker systems. However, in this case, we are going to put this on our home system because we want to get it to level 3 so that when I build that building, the Arigan History Center or whatever, we're going to get the maximum amount of influence we can from it. And we can get this done in 2 turns. So that's going to be really good for us. The other thing that we really need to consider doing is getting some portals down. Portals do cost the resources that we're using for everything else, and this is another reason why I stressed so heavily on acquiring these in the early game. Getting this system is going to help that cause a little bit. All right. There's not much more for us to do, I don't think. Nope. I think we're good. All right, we actually have the... Here we go.
Feel free to anger us. Feel free also to suffer Tornazi's wrath.
So they're kind of threatening us, but they're not actually doing anything. I was kind of sort of hoping that they would try to close borders on us. We finally captured this. So now we're getting an extra 25 dust and health regeneration on ships in orbit or in the hangar is increased, so our ships will repair faster if we have them in the hangar of our system that has this inside of its border. So that's good. We may actually utilize that at some point. I think we're going to go ahead and just declare war on them. I don't want to wait too many more turns.
We have one word for to die stabbing each other. Know that I like this word.
And they've pushed pressure back on us. This is a good time to kind of push back on them.
I look forward to seeing what next appears on my blade.
I'm curious to see if they'll attack us. They haven't attacked us yet, which is kind of curious to me in itself. They're super aggressive typically. We can launch another probe. Maybe we launch it this way and try to catch whatever was down that lane that we missed. And then keep moving. There's no curiosities here to search, so... We could jump back over here and grab these curiosities, but... I think we're going to pass for the moment. Alright. If he's not going to attack us, we're going to attack him. He's got 2 ships inbound. And they are both energy focused as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Our ships are way more powerful than their ships. We didn't look at battle tactics. Okay, that would have been helpful. Our ships are going to be best at long range. So maybe power to shields is probably the right one to run. And I'm actually going to go to the advanced menu. Because what I want to do is I want to see... Okay, so this indicates to me that they have to put all their ships in this primary flotilla. For us, we're going to get a minor morale buff by putting ships in this flotilla over here. But we don't want too many ships over in this flotilla because our ships are not optimal at that range. And so what I'm going to do is put almost all of our ships over here. But the one ship that I'm not going to put over here is our radar, which is probably this guy. Yeah. He doesn't have as good a guns anyways, so he's not as effective. He doesn't have that bonus, but he's also... Well, I guess he's not any more or less durable than these guys. So we're just going to put him over here so he'll be safe. I don't have to worry about replacing him. Alright, this ship should protect most of my other ships, and the amount of damage that we're going to put out should be substantial. Typically, missiles will be energy weapons unless the energy weapon fleet also is carrying flat cannons. And these guys are not, so we should annihilate these guys in the early phase. At least that's what I'm predicting. I guess they did have a hero. I didn't see that. They might have placed him on there. And they are closing to close range. This is probably a result of them seeing we have lots of missiles and they want to get away from long range as quickly as possible. if they're running mostly beams, they're good at all ranges, and so it's always optimal to pick your opponent's worst range when you're using beam weaponry. I'll go to the overview camera briefly. We'll see how this goes. Alright, long range phase is coming up. Got a lot of missiles. We're taking some damage, but not as much as they're taking. I think one more volley of missiles ought to do it. Now, one thing I want you to notice is that our ships are shooting at all different targets. One of the advantages that military grade ships have, the attacker class ships, is that they will actually focus fire opponents. And that's one of the reasons why they're more efficient in combat than the explorer ships, even though they have maybe the same number of guns. That focus fire can really be detrimental. But you can see we didn't take a lot of damage. The Drakkar took the brunt of the damage and the hero took a fair amount, but the rest of our ships are pretty well unscathed. Their hero managed to survive somehow. I don't understand how that's possible, because we did destroy the entire fleet, so I'm not sure why it's still showing a health bar here for him. It does show the little ship's hero has been rescued by the rest of the fleet. Yeah, that shouldn't happen. None of his fleet survived, so he should be dead. That's a little bit frustrating for us. I don't know why he was allowed to do that, but anyways, so things have gone pretty well for us so far. My research into what they had helped us build the proper fleet for countering them and making that first engagement really good. They will eventually try to counter what we're doing with some counter fleets of their own. They've got 2 more ships heading to their death, but what I really want to focus on right now is our sieging capabilities. So because we have a fairly large number of siege ships, we're actually getting 32 points per turn. So in about 10 turns, 10, 11 turns, we would completely remove all the defenses from this system. We're certainly not going to wait quite that long, but we are going to wait until we have a superior advantage. They are running tanks at the moment, so we're definitely going to run tanks as well. And the other thing that we really want to consider doing, although we're not going to be able to do it this turn, is upgrade a couple of tiers into here. So maybe if we can get enough dust and enough resources, we want to upgrade our tanks and equip our tanks as much as possible. It makes sense, since tanks beat infantry and tanks against tanks is an even fight for the most part, that we would want to run 100% tanks right now, or very close to it. There is a reason to actually run 5% infantry, but I don't know if it's a good enough reason. And the reason for running infantry is that tanks come in a cost of 15 per tank, and there are certain situations where your deployment limit will have like a 10 or a 5 left over in the deployment limit, and you'll actually lose out on a tank that you would normally be able to deploy if you had infantry. And so by adding just a little bit of infantry to your force, it pretty much guarantees that you get to use the maximum deployment limit, where with tanks, because of this cost, sometimes you're not able to deploy your full limit. If your full limit would be just 10 points, you can't deploy a tank. Or if you needed just 10 more points to deploy your full limit, you can't deploy a tank. But you could deploy 2 infantry. And so I don't know if it's worth it, but I'm going to go ahead and try it. We're going to go 90-10 just so we can guarantee to hit our full deployment limit. I've seen it a few times, and I'll point it out if it shows up a situation where that's the case, but we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we cannot afford this yet, nor that, but we will be able to probably next turn or two. So I can go ahead and set that down, and then what else do I want to do? Let's go to here and let's get back to the marketplace and sell off some luxuries we're not using. We can sell those off. We can sell those off. We're going to need some Jadonics, but I only need... Hell, I don't need any Jadonics, really. We're making 20 a turn. Yeah, let's just sell that off. We're making 20 a turn, pretty much. 26.4 a turn now. So any system that we take over is going to immediately have enough stuff. She gained a level. We can go more health. We could go with the XP. Or we could go with movement. I'm just going to go with more health. Alright, what else do we have going on? Do I have a probe? Not yet. I don't have any more scout probes. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to blockade that system. We do need to keep an eye out over here because they have the ability to send a fleet across here and do similar activity to Nerad. And we really can't afford to defend that at the moment, so we'll have to be a little bit careful. Where is this system? Okay, so we need to bring a ship over here. That will basically secure us this system. What ship could we bring over there that has a attack power of 55? And how quickly could we do it? Well, this system's not doing anything. Do we have a power of 55? Yes. What about this one? 7, 7, and 8. Alright, let's edit a radar ship real quick. Well, actually, this is only going to take one turn to build. So we'll just build it as is. And we'll send this ship down there to try to grab that quest. We don't have any hot planets in this system, so this building isn't particularly good, although we do have 3 sterile planets. But they don't have very large population capabilities. So it looks like we got another trade company. We're gonna have to look at that here in a second. This will actually provide a little bit of dust for us, but not much. I think. Yeah, I mean that's probably the best thing we can build in this system at the moment. So we'll just go ahead and queue that up afterwards. We have an election coming up. I'm really hoping that the militarists get in power again. We got our level 3 modernization, which is awesome. And a new trading company was created. So this is actually really good for us. We needed another trading company. Minor Civilization is now providing us most of their resources, which is good. And we have a new event. We could get extra science at the cost of dust, which we generally can't afford, or we could get more industry. I really do like industry. But at the moment, we're kind of running out of things to build, so accelerating our science wouldn't be bad. The dust is going to take care of itself. We have more trade companies now, so we're going to set down some more trade companies. And in addition to that, the science is going to accelerate how quickly we get new stuff to build. So, plus I want the science party to get more influence. I don't want the industrialists in power. I really want to go scientist, militarist if possible. Hath has been hacked. I'm getting no indication of a hack at this point. Hath doesn't have any defenses, so that would probably be why. Can we maybe at least put encryption down on here? That might be good. At least then we'll get notifications when they get traces and such. So you don't get to trace other players unless you have a defensive program up on your system, as far as I can tell. Defensive programs can be placed. They will announce security breaches and apply this effect if an enemy hacking op breaches your system. This can be canceled. Yeah, maybe you can still trace. I'm not sure. But it seems to me like you can't trace or you don't even detect anything unless you have a defensive one. So we're going to run that there for now. And then we need to kind of think about where we want to put this trade company headquarters. So what I'd like to do is put a trade company headquarters like in Pisces. There's already a subsidiary here. So what that means is we're going to get a trade route that goes through here like that. And then we can build this second subsidiary over in Nerid. And then that one is actually going to go this way. And then Lakim will also build a trade route to Nerid. So you can see how these things kind of compound on one another. The other option is we can just go ahead and get it started on Hath. Now, in order for that trade route to actually work, we're also going to have to get wormhole technology. And wormhole technology is actually one of the ones that we were considering grabbing anyways, because we need to get a couple from this tier, and wormhole technology is right here. So this is definitely going to go in the queue. What I do want to see is there anything in this tier that would be really worth us getting? Really the two options are the steppes world and the arid world. This one gives us a science building, which is always good. And this one gives us some much better probes, so we can scout a lot better than we are currently scouting. Unfortunately, we don't have a good way to get our scout ship back to our home system in the at this immediate time. But there is a good way, and that is if we can find a pirate system in one of these other constellations, we can teleport back. And that might be what we want to do. If we teleport back, we can retrofit with better engines and better probes and then send them back out. I kind of like that idea. These probes are actually really something. I think I'm going to start focusing on grabbing these in the early game while your ships are still near your system, so that you can retrofit them, and then when you send them out, you don't have to worry about probes anymore. So that's one option. I just don't know that this building's all that valuable for us. We do have some systems with anomalies now. And it is a really cheap building. I just don't see us building that. We're going to keep moving this direction. We're going to keep building things, higher tier things. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that and then that. And then we need one more from this tier, and we're going to probably end up building research cities, because that's a really, really good science. Plus we need ice anyways to colonize Ariga at some point. I think that's what we're going to do.
For so long, we thought we were alone in this cosmos.
Alright, so we have met the Umbral Choir.
Is overjoyed to meet you, creature.
He sounds very friendly. He's got 4 ships. And they are not particularly scary. He's reserved at the moment. Let's try and talk to him and see if we can't...
We watch you, creature, and we wait.
What do you feel about peace? He does not like the idea of peace at all. Is there anything that he does like? I can't do suggest terms, apparently. What about map sharing?
Yes.
Yeah, there's not much I can do here. Does he like Eden Incense? No. Does he like Jade Onyx? No. Oh, let's actually... Can I shift click this?
Okay.
Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, we're not going to be giving him anything else. Deciduous trees? No, he doesn't like that. He doesn't have anything that, or he doesn't want anything that we really have at the moment. I'm going to have to be careful. So these ships are in orbit, but we're about to reach here, and there's a very good chance he's going to attack the Argosy. If I can't negotiate some kind of peace with him. I don't have the influence to really do any negotiating at this point in time, so we're going to just wait another turn. Still haven't seen any pirates. And we only have 1 probe. And because those beacons are no longer lighting up, I don't have a good idea of where to send it. Although, it's pretty clear that there's something here and here. I have no idea what, but I guess we'll send a probe out that way. And pass our turn? Yeah, we'll just pass our turn, I guess. That ship's already doing the invasion thing or siege thing, so we don't need to bother sieging them or anything like that. Not much else going on at the moment. Our Hyperion output is 11 a turn, but it still feels really low compared to our Titanium, which isn't really that much higher. We must have gotten some quest rewards or something. This place is running sleepers again. Alright, what do we want to do with this system? Approval buildings sound reasonable, since our approval's kind of crap. These guys just give you +5 food no matter where they're at, so... Alright, we now have the History Center. We can get that queued up over here. 5 turns for this. And another 8 turns for that. But I think that's fine. We could... Yeah. Got another population here. We could put this over here. 5 and 13 is still 8. What if we take another one of these over here? We're we're not taking any turns off of that, really. If we're not going to take turns off of it, I think I'd rather have the extra food and get more population. Pegasus has finally completed some of its buildings. How are we looking? We got a colonization to do. That's always good with all the great buildings we have. We got mining to do. That's a lot of titanium. Approval's high. And this is actually going to help us grow faster, so we'll move that into the queue as well. We're going to have to start transitioning to building portals here pretty soon. And as we do that, we'll basically be transitioning away from settling things with the Argosy. This needed to be looked at a while ago. This is no good. Okay, so these guys like sterile worlds. We do have a couple of sterile worlds, so I'm going to go ahead and throw him over there. And this should be fine for now. We can get spin projects running, which would be good. And this system has a ton of hot planets, so this is just utterly amazing. And then we need a lot of food to fill up all these hot planets. So we're going to probably go ahead and get... Look at all those luxury deposits we have. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this system is going to grow really, really fast. And our hero... Why is our hero not here? Oh, this is Hoth. This isn't even the city, the system we put our hero on. But look at all these hot planets. 1, 2, 3, 4 hot planets. She would give this place a ton of industry. There's no need to move her over here at this point because it's already got a good amount and we're building everything just fine. She's more of a kickstart for systems. We can build a Drakkar in 3 turns. That's pretty good. We could also build a trade company here in a really short period of time. That might be worth doing. But the question is, where do I build the routes? I'll have to think about that. We got 7 turns to figure it out. Yes, more approval, please. Or influence, I mean. Don't even care what that quest was about. This is whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, we've reached the 20 population collection bonus for Vaulters. And now is maybe a good time to talk about one of the strategies that I think is a viable strategy with the Vaulters. And it has to do with this population collection bonus. Once you get to 50 Vaulters in your entire empire, you get 0.1 manpower, 0.1 science per manpower on systems. And so the way that this works, if I go to my home system here, my manpower on system is right here. And it's pretty pathetic at the moment with only 200 manpower on the system. That means that basically 10% of that number gets converted into a flat science bonus, which, if I'm not mistaken, gets multiplied by all your percent bonuses. Because it just adds science to the system, a flat science to the system. And so this is only 20 science right now. If we were to hit 50 population that we would be earning on this system that we're not currently earning. But if we transition to military tech, we get a better version of this building. It gets 300 capacity on system. And so once we filled up that 300, that now becomes 500 total, which is 50 science. And then there's another building that adds even more, and another building that adds even more. And each one of these buildings makes your systems more defensible. And there's just a bunch of them all throughout the tech tree. And if you grab them all, we're talking hundreds of points of science in some cases. You've seen systems in the late game get well over 1,000 and maybe even multiple thousand of manpower on the system to defend it. So that being said, we get 10% of those, and that's per system. So every one of our systems is giving us an extra 20 science right when that happens. And then if we build any of these other buildings, it can go up quite significantly. And this is one of the ways that the Vaulters can power through to get a science victory internally very, very quickly in the late game. But it requires you to set up your empire well and basically transition from expansion into an internal, very tall, grindy empire, which we can definitely do. And maybe one of the ways we decide to try to win the game if we play it that far. Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. We're going to have to retreat the Argosy off of this system. And they're going to follow us, which sucks. Are they going to follow us? It doesn't look like they're following us. But the fact that they're guarding that system is really annoying. So, where am I going? Are we going to go grab Yabella and take these two? How fast can I get to Yabella? Come here. Alright, I can't even get there. We'll have to see what happens here. I'm gonna have to be careful because we could lose the Argosy here. Still don't have sight of anything. Alright, one thing we can do is, since we're pirates, we can kind of mess with the Lumeris player, and they won't really know it's us. Let's take a look if it's actually not going to stop them from actually getting this. But I want you to see... usually this number changes. We're not getting the little skull icon here, which is usually the notation that the system is not going to actually grow. It's going to fail. Guess we'll send out another probe and hope we see something here soon. Without a pirate system down there, I don't have a good way to teleport. Alright, we've got this down to 286. I'd like to get it down to less than 150. Here's the reason why I'm concerned. One of the things that they can do if we invade is... I can't actually even see the numbers. That's kind of annoying. Let's go ahead and take care of this. I'm not going to bother watching it. I just want to double check. Okay, they have switched. So they are now using bullet weapons, which will help against our missiles, but I don't think it's going to be enough. We're going to run power to shields again, and I'm not going to watch this, but I am going to go to the advanced. I don't understand this at all. Why would you... I guess because this ship is better at medium range than at long range, since it doesn't have any missiles. But I want it to soak up all the fire from my other ships. The radar can still stay over there. That's fine. And we'll just go power to shields again and fight. We should win this pretty handily. But yeah, the way that the AI chooses to set up its fleets is just dumb. Now, if I go to the advanced, I can get an idea. Were their flak defenses able to stop many of our missiles? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I think we did just fine. Their weapons are terrible at long range, so... And we're gaining more points. I guess we're going to go with fleet movement, because I'm not really interested in the XP. These ships are not going to be long-term investments. But the fleet movement could come in handy. Alright, get her out of there, and... Okay, so back to this. We can deploy 385. They can deploy 286, but they have that tactic that lets them basically recruit another 175 manpower, which means that if we attack them right now, they could still potentially outnumber us in the ground battle. And so what I want to happen is I want to be in a position to where even if they draft, we're going to significantly outnumber them, which means we need to really get this down to about 100. That would give us 100 more manpower than they have, and we would be able to eventually win that fight pretty easily. So to get them down to 100, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 6 more turns. That's a lot of turns of straight up just frickin' sieging, but I think that's what we're gonna do. We almost have the pulsos, actually. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and pay that, and we're gonna see about grabbing this quest. We might be able to take that system as well. If we get a good quest for this, we might just come down here and wipe these pirates out before we come back and get these ones. And we'll just take this system, move our fleet over here, and just keep marching straight into Karis. This fleet is not going to be able to take their capital anytime soon. But one thing I could do, actually...
We will always talk if you got dust. You do have some.
Yes, we do. 910 dust. Really wouldn't be that hard.
We watch you, creature. And we wait.
Let's ask him to halt his attacks.
The choir is watching.
That's not good.
Always.
Alright, we're gonna mobilize our manpower. Not that that's gonna help us all that much. I forgot about this ship too. So I guess we go to this system, and then we free move over here to try to get this quest done. What do I want to do with the Argosy? I don't know that I really want to bring it back, but there's... I mean, we could grab Yabella. We are going to probably grab this. I guess that's what we do, is grab these two systems. I just don't know that we're going to be able to hold them very efficiently, because we're really pushing into some contested territory, and we haven't really built enough of a military to even take these guys completely out. Granted, it is only turn 60, but we should have a little bit more of a force if we're going to plan on pushing into other players' territories. Well, we will have actually a little bit of a force, because this system's going to have a fleet at this point. We'll get a minor faction fleet to help defend this. So yeah, let's go here, and then let's try to free move our way back over there. Because as long as they're blockading that system, there's nothing we can do there. Alright, so I should be able to free move. No! Oh my gosh, I think I just killed the Argosy. I pushed the wrong button when I tried to free move. Ah. Okay, I'm going to replay the turn. So we got to go back one turn. Load. We can load the beginning of this turn, and we should be able to be just fine. Alright, what button is it? Is it Alt that lets you do that? I think it's Alt or Shift. I can't remember. I pushed the wrong one, whatever it was. Come on. This is not helping speed up the process of this game much. Seems like it's running worse today too for some reason. Alright, let's move our fleet over here. Let's click on it. Let's hold Alt and see. It's not Alt. Is it Shift? It's not Shift. Is it Control? Control. Okay, so it's Control. If I just Control, I can get here in 5 turns. And it will be completely safe to do so. So that's what we're doing. That means we have a little bit more free dust to deal with. Ooh. I'm leaning towards this. Let's take a look at our approval levels. Yeah. We're gonna go with that. This effect is worn off. Spin projects are done. We've got a new technology, which actually did give us better engines. Kind of. 4 movement is good, but the % bonus to distance traveled, I think actually is better. More curiosities revealed. That might be good for our scout ship that's stuck down there doing nothing. Oh, this is what we unlocked. We got a new deed that we can do. This is actually a really good building for us, and we'll probably try to get it. Alright. So we got some things to do. He is traveling here as fast as he can. Yeah. Kind of at a loss here. Alright, we need to maybe start a law here. Dirty Hands Act. Oh, here we go. This is a perfect time for this. I should have enacted this a couple of turns ago. The Star Boogie Bill is going to get the Argosy and this other ship to their destinations much more quickly than they have been traveling to this point in time. We can afford to run it because our influence is so high. We won't be running it for very long, just long enough to get those ships where they're going in slightly lower time than they would otherwise arrive. Let's just cycle through all of our systems here and see that our approval is in the appropriate place. I don't think it matters. 8 industries better. We'll move that over there, just to give it a little bit more buffer. What do we got going on here? Yeah, this is not ideal at all. This is much better. We want that food, we want that industry. Predictive logistics is going to get done. This is a building that will give us a lot of industry. And then we can focus on some food, perhaps. We do have a bunch of strategics unlocked, so that's actually worth a lot of food. In fact, it's enough food that I might even move it up, because it's pretty easy to build. That can be on the back end. And gravitation center. This could use one of these buildings as well. Happiness is starting to become a problem. Why is that one so expensive? Which one is the cheap one? This is the cheap one. I don't want that one. I want this one. This should only take like 1 turn. 3. Alright, we'll get it in between these two. But this is going to provide 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 approval to this system. So definitely worthwhile. This one does the same thing, but it costs twice as much industry-wise. Yeah. All right. What else can I do? We definitely want to get spin projects rolling as well, and the sooner the better on that. Anything else? No. Doing a little system management here, sorry. +5 per system level. That's actually 3 on this system. So that would be 15 approval, but this is actually 10. AI labor is really good right now, so we'll get that after we get these other things built. And nothing really needs to be moved around at this point here. This system, yeah, there's not much going on here that we can do anything. Nothing we can do to really help out. AI labor is no good. Yeah, this is just a bad system. Here we want to make sure these Calgaroos are all on the appropriate planet. I mentioned that several turns ago and never came back and actually looked, but Calgaroos are better on fertile planets. That's why you always want to try to put them on fertile planets if you have one. Anything else we can do here? Not really. We've got a handful of things that are getting done that are important. Okay. I like that. We went through all of our systems. They look a lot better now. We're running the sleeper surveillance here. I don't think we need to run sleepers here. Pegasus is probably fine. I can run sleeper surveillance here and not even drop below 100, so we might as well run that while we're at it. Aurum. Aurum could definitely have sleepers on it, because this could be a system that the Umbral Choir already had a sanctuary on, so we'll need to be careful. So I'm going to go ahead and run that. It is going to drop us below happy, which is not ideal, but I'm not too worried about it. We'll get it back pretty quickly. Anything else we want to do? Nope. Get more turns under the belt this game. Get moving. Alright, Pulsos have moved to Cordial. That means that we can now do this. Reach 70 approval in your empire and maintain it for 10. What is that? We're above 70. Let me read this quest again. Construct buildings, choose appropriate hero skills, and avoid overcrowding to raise approval. This is going to happen on its own. I don't think we need to worry about this too much, because we are at 60 approval, or 86 approval, sorry. We have two systems that aren't super happy, but the rest of them are balancing it out at the moment, so... Alright, what do we got here? I got 2 probes. I still have not uncovered the next star lane. I guess I come back over here? There's a lot left to scout over here. Alright, let's go ahead and get moving. think we'll just go grab these curiosities, and then if we uncover something, we can always head back. What do we got going on here? No sleeper detected. Okay, so that one's been canceled. Hacking operation reached Oentho. And then we got to get to here. So we've still got a ways to go on that. Where are we at here? We're still several turns away. Oh, that's curious. Why? What in the world's going on here? So now we're at 42? That seems like what it should have been all along. I thought that the 30 number seemed awful low when we did the math the other day. I'm a little confused as to why that's changed. Huh. I'm not complaining. It's going to happen a little more quickly, and in fact, maybe we just burn this all the way down to the ground before we attack, and then we win, no problem. We'll also minimize losses to the system that way, but it does mean that we have to fend off any potential ships that he might be sending to defend it. So we'll see what happens. Our empire is getting quite spread out in the next few turns. We are running the Star Boogie bill, right? +3 movement on all of our ships.
Did you forget? The choir watches, unseen.
Okay, they're sneaky. You are already at war with a third party. Creature, your war sends discordant harmonies across the galaxy. Refrains that must be made agreeable by force of war. He's sending us a message that he's going to declare war on us. I'm curious, are they in an alliance?
We have one.
Alright, let's... How do I swap? Swap with this guy. He hasn't even met the Umbral Choir. What? Who does the Umbral Choir even know? Holy moly, he's been busy. He's got ships that have been all the way out to the Empire like we have. He's also met Horatio and the Cravers. We haven't even met all these people yet. Have we? Yeah, he's been very busy. I'm a little concerned.
From you.
We are still watching, creature.
He's nervous that we're in a war with somebody else. He is not happy about this war thing at all. Can I just, like, give you something? I'm not really using my adamantium right now. Do you like? He does like it. Can we get... He's not going to share his map with us. What about dust? Yeah, let's... I will give you some worthless adamantium for 1 dust, just so we can create some goodwill, because I don't want you attacking me. This would be very bad for me. Yeah. You accept that crazy offer, and let's breed some goodwill and then try to get peace with them in the short term. We can consider coming back and taking them out later, but I've got to have no interference in my war. That's what I'm worried about. This is interference encroaching. These ships are still sitting here burning this down. They're so focused on the pirates they're ignoring us at the moment. But they may be on their way to us, and we just caught them at that time when they hit this system. It's a possibility. These ships are not capable of beating us. They do have guns. They do have bullet weapons. But their bullet weapons are nowhere near as powerful as mine. So bullet weapon for bullet weapon, we win. And our missiles will probably skirt through a few of their bullet weapons and will give us an advantage at long range, which is where we want to open up. Speaking of long range, we need a better long range battle tactic. Do we have any long range battle tactics that are any good? Revive and rebuild. No, we really don't. We don't have a better one than power to shields at the moment. Take trophies isn't terrible, but it starts us at medium range, and our missiles aren't as good at medium range. I think I pretty much always want to open at long range. This one just gives us a tiny amount of dust for ships that we lose. So yeah, I guess we're just going to keep rolling with what we have. That's unfortunate. There used to be a battle tactic you started with or got very early in the game called Barrage Fire, which was really good. I'm second guessing myself here. I think I'm going to go ahead and go to 100% tanks. We don't have the dust for that yet, but we can make it. So let's go ahead and get some of this stuff sold. Let's go to the marketplace and let's sell off everything we don't need. I guess I'm just going to keep the deciduous trees around because we don't have any gain. We're not gaining any, but we could use it to pop boosters for the few factions we do have. Alright, now we're at 2.2k. We can do a few things here. Coming back over here, we should be able to afford this, which we did. We cannot afford this, but we don't have any antimatter yet anyways, so that's not a big deal. Dust-wise, we actually have enough to put a little bit more into this. And then I think I can sell a few more things. What if I sold like 25 of that? Oh, wow. Titanium's worth a lot of money right now. Okay, and then come back to our, let's sell 75. And then come back to our trade and just get these maxed out as much as we can. Alright, everything is going pretty well at the moment. We have a ship en route to Argosy is going to be at its destination in 2 turns. Yep, I think 62, 64 might be the turn that we end this game, or in this video. Get a new system down, that'd be good. They are sticking around here at the moment. Let's see if they actually move. They're not moving. Okay, so they're just going to continue to burn down this while we burn this down. We've got this in 4 turns. 4 turns, the system is ours. They won't be able to defend it, even with a draft. This ship made it across the way, and we have 2 probes. I think we should go ahead and shoot at least one of them off. We'll shoot both of them off and then head over to Bonnie. And just continue to burn this system to the ground. Anything else that we need to do? I just checked all of our systems. Our hack is still 8 turns away. I think we're good. We're just going to burn through another turn here. Alright. I want the militarist in power if possible. Still failed to overtake the pacifists. Well, crap. I guess we are building a lot of pacifist buildings, which may be part of the cause of this. Alright. Our probe just lost sight of them because it moved outside of their range. But we may be able to fire another one. Alright, we'll see them next turn, just to keep an eye on them. 3 turns away from having that completely burnt to the ground. A new pulso was born, and they actually put him in the right place for once. Go figure. We want him over here because of this. Hostile fauna gives them the plus 10 anomaly. It's normally 5, but it's double because we are running the deciduous tree booster. Alright, epigenetic crops are done. Mining is underway. And we now have this, so now's the time to... I think we are going to wait and build that trade company. I gotta think about this for a second. I think we want to build the trade company in Pisces. They're doing a lot of work on this pirate system, but it's a really bad system, so I'm not going to worry about taking it. We already know about this one. I want to pin the other one up because I want to see if we're actually... Is this actually counting down? So we are at 2 of 10. And we're still above 70. So... Alright, we have the next one already picked out. Keep moving our ships. Okay. We're fairly sure that they're still blockading this system. So because of that, I am going to hold control. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to get there in 5. And then we're just going to go. So we'll get to this system in 5 turns. We probably won't get that done. We are 1 turn away from being able to colonize this, and we can do it now, which we will go ahead and do. Which one of these planets makes the most sense to colonize? A huge lava planet with 2 +1 population slot. -1 industry and minus extra approval kind of sucks. A small ash with extra industry is not bad. Subterranean and ruins. I'm actually tempted to grab this system because this could be a strategic deposit that we could then start farming. It doesn't have anything else on it, though. Yeah, this is kind of a tough decision here. None of these planets have food. How many slots does this have? 3 population slots here, 4 there, 1 there. This one actually has 6, but it's minus 10 approval per turn, which is going to kill our approval. So it's got to be the medium ash, right? We're going to need room, and we're not going to have a lot. Food's also going to be a problem. This is a difficult situation for me because I don't know whether we should just move our hero over here to help get this system off the ground, or wait and put her like in Pisces, which we're going to take over in just a couple of turns. I mean, I guess we just get the basics down first, and then we can worry about the rest of this later. We're definitely going to need to colonize as many of these as possible. Alright, so we have control of the academy. That's good. So that'll help us with a few things. Alright. Hacking operation left unassigned. We get a second hacking operation now because of that one technology that we unlocked. You know what? I have a feeling that
Whoa, you've got dust?
if we don't...
Hey, let's talk.
This Force Cordial is going to end in 2 turns. We're going to have to hack this again to keep this going. I'd rather just keep them at Cordial with us. So let's try that. Let's go ahead and hack the pirates once again. Hack Arcturus. And we can't afford to throw down an accelerator until the other one falls off. Alright, now we're ready to end the turn. We got a ship incoming. Alright, a lot of things are going on here. Let's start with the bottom. We got the Denark University, which is good. We can pop these boosters again, which is good. Academy power is increased. We got another Calgaroo over here. Let's make sure that he's on the right system, which he is. Approval's still great, so I'm not going to worry about shifting people. What does this one put out again? Science and Industry. It's a lot of industry, actually. Yeah, I don't mind running one of these over here. Can we run 2 without too much of a hit? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we can do that. No problem. Vaulters on Hoth and Aurum. This hero's leveled up, and we wanted to grab the Influence. And this is a +1 influence per pop on planet, and 10% defending troops health on system. The influence is more important to me at the moment because it's going to grow that influence bubble even bigger and faster. Although at this point we've really grabbed the only thing we're going to be able to grab with it. But we might move him somewhere else. Yes, apply. If there's a good spot where we could actually get a bubble around something else, kind of like this, Yggdrasil would be enveloped. And once that system is inside our bubble, other players are unable to colonize it, I believe. So that could be one option. Ooh, anything else? I really want to keep him here because the more influence we make in this, the more effective that this building actually becomes due to the 25% bonus. And so he's actually a really good hero for this system. At least in terms of the abilities we're choosing for him. We have this down to 2 turns before the manpower is completely gone, and we can invade with almost no difficulty whatsoever. And I think we will go ahead and play this out until we get that done. This is now at 3 of 10, so that's going to happen on its own, hopefully. We made it over here, and we haven't been attacked yet, which is good. Where are we exactly? Oh, that's right. We were heading to Bonnie to grab some curiosities, which we now have the probes to do. Dark glitter and dark glitter. Not that exciting. Do we want to head over to Araga? I think we're just gonna... Wait a second. We got a quest. Where's it at?
The Vortiani and our chip.
Not you. Here we go. We found the Horatio. Yay! Okay, so these free Horatio are actually pretty cool. They come with a ship, and we got to send them back to one of our other systems. But because we got a ship, we actually got some more probes. I can't search this for some reason. There we go. Yeah. It looked like this was grayed out or whatever, but it still let me click on it, so. Okay, so we're going to send the Horatio back this direction. Looks like into Craver space, which is terrifying. But if we happen to find... I guess I got a probe, I can just launch that over there too. Sisters of Mercy. Do we want to grab these guys? Is it worth throwing some? We can throw enough to get above the halfway line. That doesn't cost a lot. And then we got one more probe we can send out somewhere. Which direction? Maybe over here? Send one that way. Alright, let's get these guys moving. How far away are we? He's still a long ways away. 4 turns before we can end that law. The Star Bookie bill doesn't need to be running too much longer. In fact, our influence is so high. And we're running so many buildings trying to get things done. I think we're going to go ahead and re-enable the Dirty Hands Act. Care about any of this. We've already looked at that. 50% of the galaxy's been explored. Let's just get through 2 more turns here. Looks like they got some ships in our way. Oh, this is their behemoth. Alright. What? What's going on here? I'm clicking on this and I see their behemoth. Is their behemoth cloaked? There's some kind of weird glitch going on with this cloaking. I think they're trying to pull a fast one on us. I think they have this ship uncloaked. The behemoth is cloaked, but because the computer always shows the most powerful fleet and it's kind of flashing like it's cloaked. Yeah, they're trying to pull a fast one on us. Now, what? I think we could still take them. I don't have the stats of the behemoth, though. Oh, yeah, I do. It is showing it. but it's not showing up. So it is showing a cloaked fleet with 6,506 offensive power and 10 command points, and then one other ship. So unfortunately, as long as these guys are here, I can't drop my invasion. And what I don't want happening, and what I suspect might be happening... Alright, they're not sending this fleet over yet. Otherwise, I think they would have made it. I guess we're going to attack and try to push them off, but... This is really weird. So they're not in the same fleet, and since I can't see them, they're not attacking, or I can't attack the behemoth. But the behemoth is here. Yeah, that's really weird. Let's just put everybody here. There's no need to get a morale bonus for this fight. Alright. And now that cloaked fleet has disappeared. That was a weird bug. I bet it's still here, but because the other ship... It's related to the way that the ships show up on the map that's causing that glitch. I can drop my invasion force now, but we're actually going to wait one more turn. What I'm still curious about is why this went to 42 when earlier it was clearly like at 32 or something. I'm a little confused by that. That seemed like a bug. A glitch of some kind. We need to pick a new technology, so let's zoom out real quick and see where we're at tech-wise. We've unlocked all the way to here. We've unlocked 2 of 4 here, and we are looking at moving into a more military phase of the game. So we've got some options. I can grab this other medium and then jump straight to liquid composites. Or we need 3 techs from this tier. Anti-cloaking is definitely something we need to consider as one of the 3. The other 2, this is almost guaranteed to be important because we need the extra manpower. How fast can I get that? 3 turns? Not fast enough to make it part of this particular fight. Boarding pods are interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think what we want to do is we definitely want to grab the attack class ships, medium attack class ships, and then maybe just move straight up to here. And we're just going to kind of skip over this whole wing, at least temporarily, because we have really, really good scout ships, and we can get away with it for now. And maybe indefinitely. The only reason to grab those techs in the future would be more to get the other buildings and stuff associated with them, which might be valuable to us. A colonizer with a probe is actually really handy, but not for our faction. This system needs to figure out what it's doing. There's not a lot that we can really do here that would be of great use to us. There are... You know what we're going to do with this system? We're going to build another radar. There's a lot of curiosities that have kind of popped up, and I'll bet you some of our systems might have some that can be explored. No? No. That is incorrect. None of our systems have curiosities that can be explored. Not even one. So never mind. Spin projects over here would be okay. Time to start grabbing portals everywhere? Maybe not everywhere, but definitely here, because this is on the edge of our space currently. And this is a long path to get over here. So yeah, that's fine. Ooh. Minus 10% on system development cost would potentially be useful, but I'd rather just get lots and lots of strategics. And we have a lot of deposits now, so our economy is going to be booming for a little while. 20 per turn and 15 per turn, yeah. Anything else we need to do? This ship can search a curiosity on this planet. Quadranix. That's important. There's a couple over here that we could grab and boost this a little bit more quickly if we decide to do so. We're at 4 of 10 here. Back to our home system. And this is going to be the big finale for the video. We are going to take Pisces. Normally I wouldn't wait to burn this completely down, but I really can't afford to lose a lot of my manpower right now, because I want to just pick it right back up on this fleet and send it to the next location that we want to mess with, which might be Arcturus in all honesty. Alright, we have 25 tanks to their nothing. I want to double check that we've boosted this as much as we possibly can. We actually could potentially get this next booster if we sold a bunch of stuff and we bought some antimatter, but how much was that again? It was like 30 and we have 12 and 0. Yeah, never mind. That's way out of league. Way out of the realm of possibility. So we're just going to go ahead and drop. We have two options. Blitz is completely pointless and actually is detrimental to us. It does increase our damage slightly on our units, but because we don't actually have enough units to get above our deployment limit, this doesn't really help us all that much, and it would burn more things down. We don't really want to do that. Guerrilla would preserve as much of the system as possible for us, which is actually pretty reasonable. And then preemptive bombing would help a little bit if they do decide to draft, which they might. But I think I'm actually going to run guerrillas. This might actually make it take 2 turns to take the system. And we'll watch this. But if we manage to take it with our force, they are not going to... They're not going to lose much, and we're going to have a fairly well-developed system. Okay. So they chose Sacred Ground. I don't really know what that did. It looks like they bombed us with tractable armaments, maybe? For honor and for their clans, the Hishio defend with fanatic intensity. So they basically do a bombing attack on us, which they did, but their troops get bonus health, but they had no troops. So this was like a really dumb tactic for them to lose. We lost 1 tank, 15 manpower total, and the system is ours. We managed to take over their population, so we have 4 Hishu and 1 Hisho and 1 Heroshims. And we're going to occupy. And take a look at our newly acquired system. Alright, so we have a new planet that we can colonize. That's going to be good. Man, they don't even have the basic buildings down, and they have a temperate fertile system. How do you not build these buildings when you start on a temperate fertile system? Like, that's just ridiculous. Okay, that has to happen, like, now. What else here is good and needs to be built? Well, let's take a look at what they already have built. What did they build? Alright, so they got impervious bunkers. That didn't really help them in the end, did it? This is actually a pretty good building for this, and these are both okay. This is definitely okay. But yeah, not getting those other 2 buildings just seems completely asinine. Alright, so are we moving our hero over here? I don't think we are. I do think I want to get a portal here as quickly as possible, just in case we need to move more ships to the front to help defend this. And then that needs to be colonized probably after these get done, so we're getting maximum effect from it. This can be switched to spin projects, which should get done relatively quickly. That'll probably get done first. That's not where I wanted to go. What? Where do I see their system development? They picked Eden Incense, which isn't bad. Eden Incense is good. Approval's going to be important. Not sure how important. It's going to take a while for this system to get under our control. Bringing the Hishu in to the Empire, because they're militarists, is actually not a bad thing for us. That will help push a little bit more military into the government, hopefully. Alright, prices are cheap. We got a lot of empty constructions. There had finished spin projects. There's really just not much for you to do. I guess run research cities? You have no luxury resources. You don't have enough population to really warrant the 2 food per pop. We're starting to get sterile planets populated, but I would need more than 20 points of bonus to really consider this. Yeah, that's enough. That's going to take you a while. Who else needed some construction over here? No hot planets, so AI labor is not great. No sterile planets. How is this even buildable? Well, we do have 1 hot planet, but it's not sterile, and there's only 2 pop on it, so it's not a very efficient use of this industry. Approval buildings are going to be important, and we have a lot of approval approval buffs here potentially with this. But I think research, since we're so happy, and then maybe throw that in behind it. And
I make you an offer with my sword drawn and ready.
I need to think about this for a second. I don't know if we want to truce out with them. If we can beat them as easily as we did, we may want to just press our advantage and try to take another system. This objective was achieved. Or no, this is a new quest. We haven't started this yet. but we'll probably be close to first. Another Vaulter. Heroes leveled up another point. What do we got? 15% science. Plus 10 approval. I mean, 15% science is pretty good. Yeah. Let's go with that. Alright, and one more place needs to figure out what we're building here. Why are you over there? Oh, I guess that's fine. Approval is super high, so approval buildings aren't a big concern. Flat science would be good. Yeah, that's probably fine for now. Why do we have 2 population over here? I guess just because we can, right? I mean, honestly, why are you not over here? That's where you should be. A little bit of extra industry from that. Yeah, this is fine. We can move these guys over here too, and that still doesn't even touch our approval, so. Okay, everybody's building something now. Ships have all moved. This ship, I need to think about for a second. This ship has curiosities to search. Ooh, lots of them. Alright, let's go ahead and get one of them. And then let's wait it out for some more. Okay, what are we doing with this ship? My gut says we should truce out, take Arcturus, and solidify our own empire. The pirates no longer have a pact with us.
We would always talk if you got dust.
And they're going to start attacking us here
some.
pretty soon. I could enact a non-aggression pact again. My only concern with leaving this system is if we leave this system undefended, we don't have a quick way to get back here. Now, I am building a portal, but until that portal gets built, and even if it does get built, they have a big fleet here. If we don't take that fleet out, we may not be able to do much of anything for a while. So what I would want to do, I think what we want to do is we want to fly down here, take out their fleet with our fleet. That makes Pisces a little bit less dangerous. They've almost got this pirate system taken care of, so we can finish this pirate system off, potentially. I like that plan. Let's finish the job that they're already starting. And then once we take this fleet down, hopefully we do it without too many casualties. Alright, so they're going to have the option of 2 different flotillas. I'm not really concerned with 2 different flotillas. I can put my hero over here just so he can fight something. He has a lot of firepower, and if he goes down, he won't die, or she won't die in this case, because the rest of the fleet will survive. So if they stack everything over here, we'll still win. We're going to watch this one. We'll see what happens. Yeah, they went 3 and 3. Our heroes should probably take one of those down, maybe 2. But we'll see. I'm not really sure how they equip their ships. Go to the overview cam. Our big fleet should come in and just wipe this out and then help assist the hero. We're going to speed up the... Let's go back to 2x. Alright, yeah. We're not doing nearly as much damage as we were. And our hero just went down. Alright, we got their center fleet wiped out. The other one we may or may not get. Oh, they took out our big ship. That took a lot of our manpower away. And also a lot of our siege potential. Alright, so we're kind of in trouble now that we've lost our... Yeah, that went much more poorly than I expected. This ship in particular was doing most of their damage. These two. They have some very powerful beam weapons, and we don't have any real beam defense. That's one of the reasons why I was concerned with not having any shields on our ship. At the time, they were running exclusively beam weapons, and that actually plays into our missiles very well, and so I didn't feel the need for shields in that matchup. But once they start putting some gun turrets, and their ships don't go down quite so easily to the missiles, it becomes a problem. Luckily, we still have 3 ships to their 3 ships, but their ships are way better than ours. They are damaged, though. But then again, so are ours. And this is our radar. This is the least effective of our ships remaining. So this was possibly a big mistake. We're going to get another point of movement. Alright, so I have one potential option here, and that is we truce out with the pirates again, and then I can teleport away instantly. But there's really no need to teleport that distance when I can just travel. But we're going to want to retreat. Do we accept this truce then? You know what? I'm going to think about it. We're going to save the game right here, and I'll decide before next episode whether we're going to truce out or whether we're going to do something slightly different. That being said, do we have... This guy's just 2 turns away, so we should be able to... And actually, these guys are so far, we could just assimilate them right now. I'll think about that as well. We're 2 turns away from getting the quest, so I think we're just going to wait for that to happen. But yeah, things are going pretty well. Our economy's kind of better. We definitely have some potential now of building better trade routes now that we have wormhole technology. I'm a little disappointed that there's not a wormhole here. Forcing the wormhole to go through this pirate territory is obnoxious. However, it does actually play into our trade route if we take Arcturus, because then it becomes part of the trade route path. So I do like that. So this is becoming more and more of a priority for me. And maybe trucing out of here is what we end up doing. That being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. So if you have any comments, any questions, any feedback, please give it to me. I do try to take it into account. And we'll see you next time.